Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcore Guides, bringing you my run for Metroid Zero Mission on hard difficulty. No item upgrade run. So, we're still, of course, in Kraid, because technically we're, I don't know why, no, actually wait, we're in Norfair. No wait, no, we're in Kraid, because, no wait, hold on. The fuck? Anyway, we're going to Kraid. How about that? We're gonna, yeah, okay, I thought so. The idea is we are going to Kraid, and this is going to be probably one of the longest videos in the entire backlog of these videos I can think of. This is part 8 out of 17, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the only reason that this is probably going to be the longest one, I think, is because of the simple fact that we have to fight 2 bosses. I don't remember the first worm boss name. I always forget his name. I think it's like Inago or something. I don't remember. But he's a pain in the dick. Not because like he's incredibly hard, but because, you know, since I am playing on hard mode, I have a lack of missiles to play with. And, sorry, swallowed my spit there for a second. In all technicality, yeah, you can get missiles and you can get health back from that fight. You can actually do that. He has a way where if you dodge his move, his grab, not his grab, but like his grab basically. If you dodge that, and you mess up, I think like too early. If you dodge it too early, I think he throws out some rocks or something, or hits on some rocks, and then you can break those, and you get health and missiles back. So, in all reality, I could have technically made the fight go a little faster had I used that. However, I ended up using just the normal beam to kill him. And this is, like I said, this is going to be a long video, but I did edit everything out, so don't worry about that. I wish I had the ability to fast forward through those sections, but I do not have that option with the editing tool I have. You would think, like, as creative an editing tool as it is, you should have the ability to fast forward your videos. I don't think you can. Maybe you can, I don't know. But yeah, that would have helped out a lot. I would have just fast forwarded through the entire thing because I don't want to watch that all again. But I'm probably going to have to. But anyway, like I said, yeah, we're basically about halfway through the videos. Because again, I have about 17. We're on 8, so, you know, plus 1. So in all technicality, we're getting pretty far. And I think I've done all the commentaries today, actually. Which, yeah, I believe so. I recorded all of the footage yesterday, and then the very day that I uploaded episode 1 and 2, or I should say episode 1. I have episode 2 scheduled for 12 tonight, like I usually do, because I already uploaded 2 Transformers today apparently, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. So I don't want to upload more than 3 videos at a time, which is why this one might take like a week to finish, give or take. So for those that are probably like, oh my god, I want to see this thing done right now because I want to see him do Grimlock. I can't wait to see that, because that's all recorded, by the way. All 7 videos of Grimlock is done. I just need to do commentary, but I'm going to wait to save the commentary for those videos so I don't run out of things to talk about, I guess. And then after Grimlock, we're going to hop into God of War Ascension, because that's the plan. I kept saying things. I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of, like, I don't know if I'm going to do God of War next. Okay, like, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's usually how I kind of like to do things, is I don't like anything to be absolute in terms of this is going to happen regardless of what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody to think that because I say I want to do it, I don't want people thinking like, yeah, that means you're going to do it. Because I've had that happen before. You know, I bring it up every time, but if you think I'm fucking crazy and you think I'm lying, go ahead. You know, you can think I'm lying all you want, but that is true. I've had somebody do that before in the past. And you could say like, well, you should move on from that. Well, I mean, I do, but at the same time, you know, someone else could always easily come back and do the same stupid shit that said person did. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I guess I was thinking maybe I should save the game just in the off chance that something were to happen, so I don't have to run all the way back to Norfair. Now, technically speaking, saving the game, I have no idea what I was doing here. You gonna play the game? That's weird. You know what would be... Oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry about that. I was editing the video. I don't remember that being there. I didn't catch it. I mean, I didn't really pay much attention to it, but I didn't catch that. You know what would have been... Oh my god. You know what would have been so fucking cool? Now hear me out. This is gonna sound extremely lame, I know, but come on, to an extent, you know, it would be kind of cool. What if Samus bled at me? No, but what if all of a sudden it's like, yeah, my footage is like corrupt, and somehow Samus has... Like, all the footage that I made is just not the right footage. You know what I mean? Like, this is clearly something I recorded, but what if me pausing right there to do God knows what I was doing? What if that didn't actually happen in real time? Like, I didn't do that. Hold on. Oh my god, I had to sneeze. I don't want to have to... if I have to quickly mute the mic, I'll do that. I don't like doing that type of stuff, making a lot of noise in my videos. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, can you imagine how creepy that would be, finding out, like, Samus just staring at me for the rest of the video? You know, what's weird is, like, I'm one of those people that I think it's a lot creepier when nothing happens. I think it's actually a lot more scary than having like a jump scare. I've always been more of like a psychological horror type guy. I don't mind having things be scary or looking scary, which that's the thing though. I would rather something look uncanny. I'd rather something look scary, because it goes into that deep, you know, animal fear that you have. That's what I like. I don't like jump scare bullshit, you know. Or just the next big jump scare game, which, you know, Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 just came out, and it's like, oh, here we go again. No, I've never played Poppy Playtime. I'm not going to say that it's a bad game or a good game, because I have no right to judge it on that merit. I can't say that I hate Poppy Playtime because I've never played it. Now, I don't have an interest in playing it. I think it looks rather just kind of whatever and mediocre, but that's just me. You know, I'm not going to say that's bad or just say, like, I fucking hate it. You know, that's the thing I don't like about people is they'll push away a game and they'll say, I hate that game. But they've never even touched it. They don't have any clue of why they hate it. They just hate it because everybody else likes it. That's when shit gets stupid. You know, I mean, there's certain games out there that I don't want to touch because I know what... I have a good idea of what it's like. Whether it be for a specific reason outside the game or not, it doesn't really matter. There are, like, it's okay to not be interested in a game. Being like, you know what, I probably wouldn't like that. So, I mean, technically speaking, you know, by the way that I do things, I should go out of my way to try every game, regardless of what I think about it or what it looks like to me, of course. But at the same time, I think there's like a line that you can kind of mark in the sand to say, you know what, I'm just going to pass on this one. I don't want to support this. I don't want to, you know, or whatever, right? Because look at Concord. I didn't even have a chance to play it. Not because I wanted to. I sure as hell didn't. But it was already a $40 price tag, which already ruined most of what people were going to probably play for it. Because if it was free to play, I guarantee you I would have at least given it a shot. Maybe, despite the obvious, well, behind-the-scenes issues, so to speak, that I'm not interested in. I don't like that stuff whatsoever, but even though they had all those problems going on, I probably would have maybe potentially... I probably wouldn't have put money toward it, but, you know, because that's the way you support anything anyways, with money. And I definitely would have boycotted, you know, paying stuff for it. It's kind of the same reason why I don't play Last of Us 2. It's because, like, I don't want to give Naughty Dog money. After the shit that they fucking done, I don't want to give them money anymore. I don't... They're new games, man. I don't know what it is. They're trying everything they can to just be the most unappealing fucking company known to man now. And it's bizarre. Insomniac to an extent. I haven't played Spider-Man 2, so I can't really exactly talk about Spider-Man 2, but I played Spider-Man 1. I remember liking it kind of at first, and then I got sick and tired of the Mary Jane sections, and they just brought it back, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, fuck this. You know, I don't hate Insomniac. I definitely don't like Naughty Dog nowadays, especially Neil Druckmann. That one's a definite. Which is funny because I actually enjoyed Last of Us 1. I thought it was really good. I didn't care much for Left Behind. It was just kind of like okay, here's this, I guess, but regardless of, you know, politics or whatever, I just thought it was whatever. You know, that's just my opinion. Dude, I'm not going to ruin it for you because I don't like something. I'm just saying. But for Last of Us 2, it's like, if I buy Last of Us 2, I'm supporting Naughty Dog and their bullshit. So it's like, I'd rather just not do that. And I think that's perfectly fine. That's one of those instances of, like, you can do that. You know, if there's a game that comes out of a franchise that you like or whatever, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to buy it because of the fact that it doesn't look appealing to me, or that there's something with the devs, like you don't want to support the devs, you don't want to pay money for whatever, right? I think that's fine, but only not buying a game just because of the fact that it's popular, that's where I feel like things are kind of a little bit strange to do that for. Because I feel like at that point you're just doing it out of pettiness rather than an actual, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not really, I'm about to say an actual reason, but more so a cause, right? Because, like, again, going back to Concord, like, why the fuck would I want to buy Concord when it just, like, after, you know, it came out, like I saw it, it looked slow as shit, character designs look ugly. We already know the whole story behind that. There's your sequence break, I guess you could, well, not really a sequence break, more like a, I just don't want to get the fucking E-Tank. I don't know, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. What's sad, too, is, like, there's times where, like, you support a company for a while and then they just turn tail. They just turn a new leaf on you all of a sudden. You don't even realize it. But a good example of that would be, like, Blizzard, I guess. Which is funny because they do a lot of that shit that I technically don't like. Because, okay, real quick, just to go into it. Back then, because, like, fuck this boss, I'm just going to be shooting it back and forth. It's going to take a while. Back then, you know, I put money toward Overwatch. You know, I bought loot boxes back then. I supported that nonsense, I guess you could say, because I liked it back then. Whether or not it's a good idea to do that or not is not what I'm trying to talk about. It's more so that that's what I did. I paid a good amount of money for it. Nothing over, like, I didn't go to, like, $200 or whatever. I think it was at least anywhere from $50 to $100 worth of loot boxes. That's about, which sounds like an insane amount because you already had to buy the game anyway. But I'm just, like, looking back, yeah, that was quite an insane amount, but not as insane as most people do in terms of how much money they actually spend on shit. But yeah, like, I put money toward it, and I guess you could argue, like, because I put that money toward that company, now all of a sudden they're going to start making trash. And their ideals are going to get projected into their games, and I don't like to hear that. I don't like to see that shit. I think that's lame. You could say, like, I'm kind of a contributor, which I guess you could, yeah, but I didn't know that was going to happen. You know, I didn't know they were going to become like that. Same thing with Naughty Dog. Like, I loved, and still love to this day, their older games. I still love Crash 1, 2, and 3, and CTR. I didn't play anything before Crash, by the way. I didn't play Keith the Thief or anything like that. Or the, what the fuck's it called? That fighting game they made. I didn't play those, but regardless, you know, I enjoyed Crash. I enjoyed Jack. All four of them that Naughty Dog made. You know, I enjoyed Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Specifically 1, 2, and 3. I don't care much for 4, and I sure as hell don't care for Lost Legacy. Because again, they're doing that bullshit that I don't like them doing. That political agenda bullshit I don't like. So, I did buy Uncharted 4, I did play it. I did get Lost Legacy, I think free on PlayStation Plus, and I did play it that way. So, but Uncharted 4 for me kind of suffers in the fact that I just don't care much for the story, and I think it's kind of too big. And I don't know, maybe I ought to play it again just for the sake of playing it. Because, like, in all honesty, the gameplay factor is what matters most. And I can just ignore the story bits. You know, I can ignore the, what's her nuts, Natalie, or whatever the fuck her name was, the other chick. The big tough chick that kicks your ass, you know, because we're not going to get into that. It's not that I'm against women kicking ass. Clearly I'm not. I know I was not going to get into that, but I just really shouldn't. Look, I like Samus and I like Lara Croft, okay? And those to me are good women characters, not this fucking stupid bullshit that we try to make all of a sudden because, yeah. I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but here I am. But anyway, because I have nothing to fucking talk about besides this shit. Well, at least the warm guy's gone. That was faster than I thought it was. But yeah, like, I don't know. What other games? Like, Insomniac-wise, I didn't play Disruptor, but I did play, you know, Spyro. I liked Spyro. I liked Ratchet and Clank, you know, even Rift Apart, which I found out also had woke stuff in it too, and I didn't know that. But for me, it's like, I didn't know that, so I can ignore it. But then again, I guess you could say, like, well, that's another part of the problem too, is like, you're just ignoring it, and I don't know. Let's just talk about cool games, shall we? Let's talk about how, you know, I've talked to death, I think, about how much Metroid is just cool as shit. I think I can just leave it at that. I'm perfectly content with it. Tomb Raider, speaking of Tomb Raider, 4 through 6 finally came out. I have not bought it yet. I know it's like $20-some odd or whatever for it, so it's probably, you know, relatively cheap enough to get. I've never played 4 through 6. I didn't even know there was a 4 through 6. Like, I knew about Revelations. That was the last game that I knew about. I didn't know that was, like, technically considered the 4th game. Which, funny enough, speaking of which, I tried to get health back, and I ended up just losing it again from getting it back. Yeah, I didn't know, you know. I grew up with, like, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, and that's about it. You know, Tomb Raider 1 was, like, the main one I would play. I barely ever played 2 and 3 at all, if any, really, for that. Oh, I'm pretty sure I played 2 a bit, and I probably most likely played a bit of 3, but I don't remember shit about 3 at all. Definitely 2, yeah, because you would lock Jeeves in the freezer. Yeah, that was 2 that did that. People get that wrong from time to time. They're like, oh yeah, remember like in Tomb Raider 1 when you do that? You can't do that in Tomb Raider 1. Well, maybe you can. You know what? Maybe you actually can. No, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was 2. But anyway, yeah, there's that. I enjoy the fuck out of Resident Evil. I wish there was more Resident Evil games right now, i.e., like RE9. I'm definitely curious to see what they're gonna do for RE9. Are they gonna do the first-person view? Because there's definitely a pattern that goes on with these types of games. If you've noticed before. So, like, the first 3 main games, I'm not going to talk about, like, you know, 0 or whatever. I'm not going to talk about, like, non-numbered, not counting 0. I'm going to talk about, like, 1, 2, and 3. Those were, you know, fixed camera angle survival horror games. And then 4, 5, and 6 are all over-the-shoulder third-person shooter type games. And then 7 and 8 is a first-person type game. So it makes me wonder, are they going to go for 9 to be a first-person as well and just finish up with that? Most likely, we're probably going to have to play, what's her name? I forget. Ethan's kid. God damn it, I forgot her name already. Fuck. It's been a while. Rose. Yeah, Rose. So we'll probably have to play her, which the DLC was fine. I enjoyed it enough. It was cool that it was third person. I thought that was kind of neat. And the fact that you can get third person in RE8 as well. Which, by the way, for RE8, I didn't know, because I think I just ignored it or just wanted to beat Village of Shadows without it. Some context real quick. So for RE7, you have Madhouse difficulty, and you can use your powerful stuff. You can use infinite ammo. You can use your strongest pistol, you know, whatever you want. You can use whatever you want, and you can still get the trophy from Madhouse for beating out Madhouse, right? I would like to go back and beat that game without the extra stuff. But the game says, yeah, you can do New Game Plus and play it that way if you wanted to. And then for RE8, I believe you can do the same thing. I think you can technically do... I believe you can do New Game Plus with it as well. However, for Village of Shadows, I didn't do that in my first playthrough because I thought I couldn't. Or I didn't want to. It's one of the two. I don't remember dead offhand what it was. But one of those two decisions was the reason why I didn't have the upgrades. And why I had to start on normal, like, you know, start from the beginning. And goddamn, Moreau, I think that's what his name was, the swamp bastard thing. God, he fucking sucked. I was stuck on him for ages, man. He sucked ass to fight. So, yeah, I would love to do RE7 and 8 in the future. 5, maybe. 6, I don't know. Which, funny enough, nowadays, I actually don't hate 6 as much as I didn't really hate it before, but now I... Like, you know, it's alright. It's got some okay bits to it. Alright, real quick, so Kraid. Basically, Kraid's fight is... I wouldn't say too hard, because he doesn't have, like, a lot of health. The only annoying thing, though, is having to figure out his pattern. Because he's got this... Okay, so he'll throw fangs, these little spike things at you, right? Like these fingernail things or whatever the fuck he's... I think those are his fingernails he's throwing at you, his hook claws. Those are, yeah, holy shit. And then, of course, he's got these weird... I don't know why the fuck he's always had these for. I don't know what they're supposed to technically be. These weird, like, claw things that shoot out from inside his belly. And, you know, the pattern is not super obvious. You just kind of have to... Well, he's also got that swipe, too. That's the thing that worries me. But once you kind of just figure out, like, okay... I'm just gonna jump down here, play it safe, and then just grab missiles, jump down here, jump, you know, blow up the claws that are coming toward me, and then fire a couple missiles, and then you'll be good. Once you get that pattern down, it's like, wow, okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it was. Because, like, for a while, I typically used to suffer on Kraid fights in every game, except for Dread, because Dread makes it a lot more easy than anything. But yeah, when it came to like Super Metroid or even Metroid Zero Mission, of course, and I guess maybe to an extent Metroid 1 because of the fact that I have Ice Beam at that fucking point. I don't have White Beam because you need Ice Beam to continue, goddammit. So I like to fight Kraid with that. You know, I've always struggled with him because I didn't understand what the pattern was. I never really thought there even was a pattern. But once you kind of figure it out, you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now. There is a little bit of a pattern to the madness. I don't know how much of it is, but kind of is. Basically, from what I can gather, you just kind of want to fall down to where his spike things shoot out. Then you want to shoot the claws coming toward you when you get up on the top of that platforms, or at the very least, on the bottom. You know, break those, get your shit back, jump up, charge beam shot or missile if you have plenty of missiles by that point, if you're not doing what I'm doing, and just, you know, shoot him in the head a few times, shoot him in the mouth, there you go. Mother Brain, funny enough, also has a pattern to it too. Mother Brain was actually a lot more fun to figure out than I thought she was. It took me a bit of time, but once you kind of just get it, it feels nice. And Ridley, which reminds me, I have to remember, when I get to Ridley, there's a guy, okay, I was struggling with Ridley, right? I'm like, I don't know how the fuck you're supposed to do this. Like, there's got to be some way to beat this ass wipe. There's got to be something I don't know. There is. There is a pattern I didn't know. I didn't know that you can just hang underneath him the entire time and shoot him that way. And I'll explain that when I get to Ridley, and I will give credit where credit's due. Because there was a somebody's video I found of them doing it. I have my likes right now, and when I get to that video, I'll post a link to it. So that way people can be like, okay, so that's what he did. To give credit, you know, of course. But we'll deal with that when we get to Ridley, and you'll see. And I did no damage this time, which is great. Unlike I did normal where I took damage. But anyway, that's it for this. Hope you guys enjoyed, and take care, everybody.